Alright, today what I'm going to teach you is how to find a fraction of a number. And we're going to do this using tape models. I think that's going to help us visualize it the best way. So we need a ruler, and we're going to find a third of 12. And so what my job is going to be is I'm going to draw what we call tape model. I'm going to break it into 12 pieces. So I'm going to try to do this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's draw 2 more on at the end. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12 pieces. Now we want to find a third of this. And what this means is we want 1 out of every 3 pieces that we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a highlighter and I'm going to color in 1 out of 3. Here's a group of 3, and I have 1. Here's another group of 3. I'm going to color in 1 out of that group of 3 again. Another group of 3. Color in 1 out of 3 of them, and we end up with one last group of 3. And so now I just need to look at my highlighted section. In order to find a third of 12, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 highlighted. So that would say that a third of 12, our answer is going to be 4. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, what if we have a number that doesn't come out evenly? It's not evenly divided by 3. And so that's my next example that I'm going to show you. Here we're going to find a third of 7. So I'm going to do the same thing, same process. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, I'm going to group these in 3 because I want to make sure that I highlight 1 out of every group of 3 that I see. So the first group of 3, I'm going to highlight the very first one. I see that I have a second group of 3. And then I'm left with 1. Just 1 here at the end. So I can't just highlight that. I don't have a group of 3. What I need to do is I need to take this one specific box and I need to group it, divide it up so that I have 3 pieces. Now this by itself represents one whole. But when I break it into 3 pieces, each piece is worth a third. I'm going to highlight 1 out of 3 of these pieces. Because again, I want 1/3. And so what we end up with when we look at our highlighted areas, I have 1 hole, 2 holes, and then I have a third of our last hole. So I would say that a third of 7 is 2 1/3. Alright, one last example for you. What happens if we have something that looks like this? We want to find a third of a half. So we want to find a third of a fraction. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one piece of tape that represents 1 whole. So this by itself represents the number 1. So how do we represent a half? Well, take it and cut it in half. Now we want to know what a third of a half is. And so basically we don't have half of this, we only have 1/2 of our whole. And what I need to do is I need to take this and cut it into 3 equal pieces. Now I'm going to do this to both to see how many I have total, but I'm going to split this up into 3 equal pieces, and even the piece that I don't have, I'm going to split that up into 3 equal pieces. So now when I look at it, my original whole has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. We only have half of the whole, so we only have 3 out of 6 pieces. And we want 1 out of those 3 pieces. So I highlight it. I have 1 out of the 3, and that means comparing to a whole, I have 1 out of 6 pieces. So our answer to this, a third of a half, is 1/6. Hope this helped. Make sure you check back at parksmath.com for more general math tutorials.